I want to talk about the string test. The string test is that urban myth or that cowboy legend that says that if you measure from the middle of the knee to the coronet band in a young horse, it'll give you a really good idea of what the mature height of the horse should be. In this video, I simply want to find out if this method truly works. The assumption between the string tests are twofold. Number one, there's an interesting correlation between the distance from the knee to the coronet band with the total height of the mature horse. Number two, because horses stop growing from the ground up, meaning the bones in their feet stop growing before the bones in their neck, for example, that means that after a certain age, if you measure that distance from the knee down to the coronet band, you should have a pretty good idea of what that horse's final height would be. So, first thing we're going to do is go check some mature horses and see if that first assumption holds true. I started at home with my two very different but both full papered Warmblood mare. Zami is for more modern favored line and her lower leg measured at 16 inches and 3/4 and she sticks at a very solid 16.3 hands. Creation, however, is from the older bloodlines and she is also quite a bit shorter at 15.3 hands. I made sure to measure exactly the same way and her leg measurement was 15 inches and a half. Ender is a Warmblood saddlebred cross. He's 14 years old and looking at his leg measurement, just a little bit over 16 inches and he's 16 one hand. Next we can look at Regalo. He's a Iberian Warmblood, a cross between Andalusian and a Warmblood, and he's 12 years old. His leg measurement was 16 inch and 1/4 and he measures 16.1 hand and half. I thought I should look at some ponies next. Dublin is an 8-year-old purebred Connemara pony. His leg measurement is 14 inch and just a little bit more, and he actually measures just a bit over 14.1 hand at the wither. This Arab Welsh Cob cross is 17 years old. Her leg measured 14 inch and a half, and she is 14.3 hands at the wither. So, as we look at this summary, we see that there is in fact a correlation between that lower leg measurement and the horse's height at the wither. It's a ratio of 1:4. And because we measure horses' height in hand, and a hand has 4 inches, the correlation looks almost magical, but it works in centimeters too. So, we've proven that first assumption. Now, let's talk about young horses. Like I said earlier, horses mature from the ground up. What are we really measuring when we measure from the middle of the knee to the coronary band? The main bone that make the bulk of that measurement are the pastern bone and the cannon bone. When we look at what age they stop growing, we see that by the time a horse is a year and a half, those bones are done. The rest of the skeleton will keep on going and those spinous process will keep on getting longer, but below the knee, the bones are set after that age. So let's take a look. This Lusitano mare was 2.5 years old when we did those measurements. Her leg measurement was 16 1/4 inch, but she was only 15.2 hands at the wither. She still had some growing to do, but below the knee her legs were done, and so I expect her to finish at around 16 or 16 one hand once she's mature. This 8-month-old, however, might or might not be done growing her lower legs. We know that they stop growing between 8 months and a year and a half, so with leg measurements of 15.5 inches on her, all I can say is that she will be at least 15.2 hands, but right now she only measures 13.2 hands. Finally, this 5-month-old filly has leg measurements of just above 16 inches. So at this point, I can confidently say that she will be at least 16 hand high, but I suspect she will probably mature closer to 16 too.